Hey, what to do, everyday people, man? We lit up in that thing, right? I forgot to play my music. Let me go ahead and play my music and get it started while we wait on. We run into Timothy Mellon, which is a billionaire. If y'all don't know who Timothy Mellon is, I'm going to tell you. Timothy Mellon is an American businessman, and he, born in 1942, good Lord, heir to Andrew Mellon and the heir to the Mellon banking fortune. His net worth is approximately $4 billion. The family's fortune is about $14 billion as of last year. His is between $700 million and $4 billion. That's a big gap. I don't know what that actually means, but everybody want to know, who is Timothy Mellon? Okay, I'm gonna just share this right here. I don't wanna. I'm not finna pay for this shit. What the f? Let's go to Fox News. We love Fox News, right? Since we love Fox News, let me just go ahead. Let's see what they got to say right here. What the devil?
I'll just say we are honored and excited to be signing an additional agreement here with Qatar. And it's been an interesting couple of weeks, I will say. Yep, we're glad to welcome you here. We're grateful for the strong partnership that we have, the way you support our troops at LUD, Your Excellency, the line of communication we've had together, which has been robust ever since the beginning of this administration, and then especially since the events that have transpired over the last month.
Oh, they had a line. They just signed for the Qatar thing. I was trying to figure. The anonymous donor who gave $130 million to the Pentagon to pay troops during the government shutdown has been identified as Timothy Mellon, a reclusive billionaire and major financial backer of President Donald Trump, according to the report. He's a glazer. Look at that. Hit that like button, man. Show your boy some love, man. We about to get lit up in this thing. Trump announces the donation Thursday, but declined to reveal who the donor's identity is. He didn't want to do it publicly, okay? But everybody found out, of course. It remains unclear how long the donation will cover the troops' salary. The Trump administration 2025 budget is asking for about $600 billion in total military compensation. What is $130 million by a rich person? A trip to Epstein Island? I'm just saying. But whatever. Let's get to it.
In the next couple of days,
Mr. President?
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Follow up on the shutdown. In the next couple of days, a lot of Americans are going to go without their first full paychecks. Federal workers.
By the way, a friend of mine, talking about donors, a friend of mine, a man that's great. I'm not going to use his name unless he lets me do it. Susie can tell you about this, but he called us the other day and he said, I'd like to contribute any shortfall you have because of the Democrat shutdown. I'd like to personally contribute any shortfall you have with the military, because I love the military and I love the country, and any shortfall, if there's a shortfall, I'll contribute it. And today he sent us a check for $130 million. I would love to tell you he doesn't really want the recognition, if you want to know the truth, but he gave us a check for $130 million,
And that's going to go to
which was sort of a...
You know, as a black man, I gotta kind of respect it. I ain't got friends I could call and ask for $130, let alone $130 million to the president to pay the Trumps. Yeah, I mean, you gotta be like, all right, Trump, you did this one. You got your homies to pull through for 130. You did your thing. You know, I mean, the troops would get their paycheck, which they missed a paycheck the other day. So, but at the same time, what is this costing us, dog? What? This shit ain't free. You think he just said, you know what, Trump? I'm a patriot. I don't want nothing in return. No interest or anything. Just, I'll give you I'll pay the military for the time being, and then, that'll fund them right now, and then, just, I don't want nothing in return. I don't know. But, like I said, shit, when a person die in our family, everybody be looking the other way like, shit, I ain't got nothing, man. Shit, man, it's been rough around here, man. I ain't really got it, dog.
The anonymous billionaire who gave $130 million to help pay U.S. troops during the government shutdown has been identified by sources as Timothy Mellon, the reclusive heir to one of America's richest families. Mellon, whose family fortune was about $14 billion in 2024, according to Forbes, is the grandson of former Treasury Secretary Andrew W. Mellon and one of Donald Trump's biggest backers. He's donated.
I love these content creators because literally she read exactly what I just read. I just skipped all the BS, and she's actually putting it in there.
More than $100 million to Trump and Republican causes over the years, even more than Elon Musk has.
Talking about donors, a friend of mine, a man that's great. I'm not going to use his name unless he lets me do it. But he called us the other day and he said, I'd like to contribute any shortfall you have because of the Democrat shutdown. I'd like to personally contribute any shortfall you have with the military.
Trump announced a donation Thursday night, calling the donor a patriot and a great American, but didn't name him.
It's a check for $130 million, which was sort of a shortfall, yeah. And that's going to go to the military, yeah. Is that the correct number? $130 million. That's what I call a patriot.
However, since multiple people familiar...
I don't even think that's Trump's friend. Because he said, is that the correct number? Like, did you not talk to him personally or something? Let me know. Because you should know if that's your friend. I don't think Trump really don't have friends. He really don't have friends. Because all his friends, I'm going to tell y'all, the wealthy people in New York, I remember the first term he got made president, it was a lot of people it was like a little small documentary about people who despised Trump. And it was all billionaires and rich people. It wasn't until Trump became president that they was like, all right, he might be all right then. We like this Negro.
With the matter confirmed to reporters that the money came from Mellon. The Pentagon says that it accepted the donation under its gift authority on the condition that it be used for troop pay and benefits. But legal experts warn that it may violate the Anti-Deficiency Act, which bans federal agencies from spending money without congressional approval. Despite inheriting one of the country's greatest industrial fortunes, Mellon has mostly avoided the spotlight except for his far-right political views. In his 2015...
He was born in 1946. He got to have a little bit of racism in him. Anybody born in 1946 got to have a little bit of racism in him. Not a lot, but just like, Not everybody who's born in 1946 got a little bit of racism. But if you're a rich billionaire, you got a little bit. You had to do some shit. It's some stuff in your background that dealt with racism at some point in time and stopping black people from getting ahead. At some point in time, you had to step on some toes.
Autobiography called Federal Aid Programs, Slavery Redux, and use racist stereotypes to describe Black Americans. So while his name is rarely mentioned in public, Timothy Mellon's money is now literally keeping the U.S. military running, raising new questions about what happens when billionaires start bankrolling the government.
It's official. Trump has set us up to...
By the way, By the way, all my Republican friends, all my Trump supporters, y'all not coming through. Y'all are the laziest Trump supporters I ever seen in my life. Because if I was a Trump supporter and I was like, all right, I'm finna watch this fool's live, he don't never had nobody from the Republican side to sit. He don't never had a Republican side. Don't none of y'all send no Republican content. Y'all are lazy. Y'all might as well ask for food stamps, as lazy as y'all is, cause ain't no Republicans talking about this. Fox News ain't even talking. Fox News ain't even talking about this. Where's all y'all's content creators? Where's all the Trump supporters talking about the $130 million? And where y'all? Why y'all not praising this man for funding the military? Where are y'all at? Are y'all hiding? What is going on? I mean, y'all but the laziest bunch of Trump supporters. My Instagram is everydaypj or everydaything with PJ. Either one, you can find me. I got a TikTok. I got a Facebook. But y'all so lazy. Y'all so late. Y'all don't want to get up and work and find that. Because I searched. I was like, it's y'all so lazy. Y'all don't even want to support the man. Maybe y'all know it's wrong, but maybe y'all don't want to do it. I don't know. It's something. It is something about Republicans never speaking out against Donald Trump when he do some fuck shit. Y'all don't never speak. Taking money from a private citizen to pay the military is crazy. Taking money from private citizens to fund a ballroom and then turn around and suing the Department of Justice, which is your tax dollars, is crazy. If it don't matter what the situation is, I'll be saying something about it. But Republicans quiet as a mouse. They like, shit, it ain't got nothing to do with us. I mean, they be like, Democratic shutdown though. Democratic shutdown though. You say something about, you say SNAP benefits, they busting through the walls like the Kool-Aid man ready to tell you some shit. You say Trump taking $130 million from a private donor to pay the military. Well, I mean, God bless that donor. He's such a good patriot looking ass. Y'all ain't saying nothing about nothing.
Never reopen this government in the biggest power grab and corruption of this government that we have ever seen. Trump has accepted $150 million from Timothy Mellon. Yes, from that Mellon family. And this guy already gave $50 million to his campaign. But the $130 million is in a direct violation of the Anti-Deficiency Act. We have this act because Congress decides where we spend our money and how much. By letting a billionaire decide which parts of our government stay open and are funded, they now run our government. And he started with the troops, because who's going to say no to paying our troops, even though it's about $100 per troop? This is nothing more than corporate feudalism dressed up as charity. And this might be the most dangerous thing that we have seen out of this administration so far. So what next? We have a billionaire come in and decide that,
okay, $100 per troop is crazy. Imagine being like, oh shit, we gonna get our paychecks, and they open it, they get that direct deposit, $100. Be like, nigga, what? $100? They gonna be going to the bank. Hey, can you see if there's another deposit coming in? Could they? Timothy Mellon said he paying it, so can you bill him? Just send the bill to Timothy Mellon. He got me.
they might pay for SNAP benefits, or that they might pay to still have the IRS open to be functioning, or to have the parts that issue passports to be functioning. Do you see how dangerous this is? And the people to prevent this from happening would be the Department of Justice, or...
Damn, my friend ain't about to get her passport. She was just like, shit, I'm waiting on my passport. You might have to wait a few more weeks, darling, because they ain't even in the office right now.
The head of the OMB. And all of those people have pledged loyalty to Trump, and this has been their plan all.
Trump is going to make the American military his private.
This man been alive since Timothy Mellon was a little baby. He know Mellon personally.
Funded by private sources. In this case, Mellon, one of the rich oligarchs. Trump.
Shout out to Ray Sipe. He made a 12-second TikTok, man. Hey, if my grandpa got online and made a 12-second TikTok, I'd be proud as hell. I'd be proud as hell. He probably, that hat looked like he pulled it from up under a bunch of clothes, a bunch of, Army veteran shit that he got laying around that he don't never put up. He'd be like, I'm just keeping it out just in case I need to wear it again. Bro, shout out to Ray Sipe. He literally is about 86 years old and made a 12-second TikTok. I'm actually proud of this man. I didn't even know. I thought he was going to give us a whole speech. It was 12 seconds.
Day 24 is not like any other day of the shutdown. It marks the first week federal workers are not getting a paycheck. I'm Harris Faulkner. You are in the Faulkner Focus. Government employees suffering during this shutdown almost got some help. U.S. Senate Republicans held a vote yesterday on their bill that would have paid essential workers, including our military personnel, men, women in active duty, air traffic controllers, and some of their staffs that do the great job of keeping us safe, their engineers, their technicians, and federal law enforcement. But Democrat senators blocked that shutdown lifeline. Now criticism is growing. A new op-ed titled "Schumer's Shutdown is Leaving Our Troops and Their Families High and Dry." Another grim milestone if all of this continues. Federal food assistance, SNAP, will begin running out by November 1st. Food insecurity is a real thing in this country. This cannot happen. This key point now in an article you see on the screen. The shutdown cliff that could hit Democrats hard. Here's Republican Senate Majority Leader John Thune.
I don't know how you explain, if you have any federal employees, how you would vote against something that would make sure that in the middle of a government shutdown, if they continue to work, that they get paid. For the life of me, again, I think the other side is in a very bad headspace right now to vote against something like that.
The fact remains the same, is that the one big beautiful bill and these little partisan bills, these temporary short-term bills, are crap. They're crap. Now, is it necessary? In some parts, but there's also other things necessary, and there's important parts in these bills that's basically saying whenever we come back to vote on this, you will not have the basically whenever we bring this back on the table, you can't say shit about it. It has to go the way it goes, and that's what it is. It's not a clean. It's not as clean as they say. It's clean because it ain't got shit in it. But it's cutting all the fat, pretty much. And should we cut all the fat? I don't know about y'all, but whenever you got a little bit of fat on that meat, it tastes a whole lot better. So you got to have a little bit of fat on there. And that is what the Republicans are trying to cut off the fat. They just want straight meat. I don't know about y'all, but straight meat is terrible. Terrible. You got to have a little bit of fat. And the Democrats are putting... I'm explaining this to y'all in dummy terms. Explain politics. Politics for Dummies. That big yellow book. This is this for y'all.
Senior congressional correspondent Chad Pergram on Capitol Hill. Chad.
Harris, good morning. No paychecks for federal workers today. It's the first missed federal payday. The Senate rejected a plan to pay essential workers who are on the job during the shutdown. Only 3 Democrats supported the bill.
We're trying to find any way to sort of ease the burden that are on the people who are working now aren't getting paid because of the Schumer shutdown. This really isn't rocket science. They need to come to kind of a come to Jesus moment here.
Democrats are still demanding money.
Hey, don't bring Jesus. Jesus ain't got shit to do with the spending bill. Jesus wants you to Jesus got a few rules, but ain't got nothing to do with the spending bill.
To offset the cost of Obamacare, but the deadline for open enrollment is November 1st, so it's impossible for Congress to act. Democrats use the deadline to fund the government to make the case for Obamacare.
Shutdowns are terrible, and of course there will be, families that are going to suffer. We take that responsibility very seriously. But it is one of the few leveraged times we have. It is an inflection point in this budget process.
Now, food aid expires late next week. Virginia Governor Glenn Youngkin seized on Clark's comment. He declared a state of emergency to feed the hungry in the Commonwealth. Democrats are concerned about food aid, too.
It concerns me because in Illinois, there are 1.9 million who receive SNAP, and if we don't get this resolved by November 1st, there's questions whether they'll get any payment at all.
There's now concern about flight delays and safety caused by the shutdown. GOP Senator Ted Cruz of Texas has a bill to pay air traffic controllers. Harris?
That's what you're thinking.
All right, Chad, thank you very much. And he's just sat down with me now, Republican Senator of the...
Oh! Not this guy. All right. Now we done stepped into Oklahoma territory. This is the goddamn Senator Langford. He looks like he looks like to me, when Bride of Chucky and Chucky had a baby. Senator Langford.
Great state of Oklahoma, James Langford is here, and he sits on the Senate Finance and Homeland Security Committees. Look, you and I were just having an off-camera conversation. I want to get into the nitty-gritty about why something like this would not pass.
Right.
What happened that we couldn't give, and I'm calling it a shutdown lifeline, to those workers?
So what Ron Johnson, his senator from Wisconsin, what he brought was a very simple idea. If you're working, you get paid. At least do that for those air traffic controllers, those federal law enforcement, those members of the military, that's Capitol Police. If you're working right now, you should at least get paid to do that as a baby step. And it was literally an olive branch to be able to reach out to Democrats and say, I know you don't agree to open the government up, but at least let's do this. They came back and said, no, we want something to be able to prevent the president from laying anyone off. If we can't prevent the president and actually block him from actually doing what the executive does, then we're not going to do this either. So this has been this crazy thing. Every time we start to make an offer on something, they change what they're going to ask for.
But Senator, I mean, you're that's like the clean.
Oh, they finna talk about it. You're handing across a clean. This is a clean thing. It's clean. It's Jesus could have gave it to you himself clean.
The Walking Dead survivors play now.
That's what I want to ask. But the 10,000 in reduction in force, that's what I want to ask you about. So that's something that they want to try to block, even though that's not part of just paying the people who need to be paid.
It's not even connected to this. It's not even connected.
Yo, I ain't gonna lie. I don't even like Langford, but he came on Fox News, and I gotta show y'all Trump supporters some love, because y'all be like, we need Fox News in our life. We can't do without. But Fox News ain't talking about the real issues. They talking about the government shutdown, but they not talking about the real issues as to why we getting $130 million from from a damn near his granddaddy was an illegal immigrant. His granddaddy came over here as an illegal immigrant, mind you. That's all I want to say is just like we taking these monies from these foreign dignities because we don't know where we don't know where this blood money coming from, this dirty money. Where this dirty money coming from? You know how many lives was risked for that $130 million?
This is just the president doing what the president does. When Bill Clinton was president, they reduced force 700,000 federal workers. You know, there's a dramatic. Everybody talks about the reinventing government. That's right.
Bill Clinton didn't have the government in tremendous debt. Bill Clinton didn't have the government. That's the worst. If you could have used anybody, you could have used anybody. You could have, okay, Bill Clinton got some head in the Oval Office. Okay. And he could play a saxophone. Okay. Bro, Bill Clinton was not black, first of all. I hate when people say that. He was the blackest president we got. I don't want to hear that shit. Bill Clinton wasn't in debt. George Bush Jr. took us through the goddamn ringer. Okay? That was a Republican. Okay? So let's stop the bullshit when y'all talk about Bill Clinton. Y'all better put some respect on his name.
I was their guy for it, but now when it's President Trump doing it, it's like, I don't like how they're doing it. I don't like where he's doing it, so he's trying to be able to block him in every step.
This hurts. I mean, this hurts to know that there are military families, that there are others out there on SNAP, and WIC. I mean, Senator.
Let me give you an example of this. I know a family.
Oh, Republicans care about SNAP and WIC? I was listening to a couple other content creators. They don't give a damn about no SNAP and no WIC. Republicans don't give a damn about that shit. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps, looking asses.
That both the husband and the wife both work for the federal government. She is pregnant with their first child right now, and they do not have a check for either one of them coming in while they're expecting their first child. They're not the only couple that's like that out there. I know another person that she is a single mom. Got an offer to be able to go to the air traffic control training facility to learn how to be an air traffic controller. Okay, she's a single mom, just quit her job so she could move and take this new one, canceled her lease so she could move, and now what happens? I mean, this is very real all across the entire country for folks that are.
Nah, she can make it happen. Hey, you know you got a job. Once the government reopen, you got a job. So just kind of like, you know, matter of fact, here's the thing. I know for government workers right now, if you are furloughed or whatever, you can call whatever bank, credit card, car payment, all that. You can set back a payment without being penalized with interest. So as some of these companies realize that, oh, we in a government shutdown, so we have a lot of government workers. We need to pander to them real quick. We can take a loss for 1 month to help these families out. So this person is not losing. That person is not losing. She could go stay with Aunt May at the end of the day. It's okay. But Democrats ain't finna ease up just because Aunt May can't pay her rent for 1 month or can't pay her car payment for 1 month. We're going to get it right.
Out there. And I'm not one of those folks that belittles federal workers. A lot of them say I never served in the military, but I still want to serve my country. I'm finding other ways to be able to do it. Great. We want good people in all these roles, but to be able to say I'm not going to pay you every once in a while really causes real harm.
You know, speaking of movement, any kind of way to keep this from happening in the future?
Oh, yeah. I actually have a way. That's what's for me, that's one of the painful things about this. I've had for several years a bill that says if we get to a moment like this, and there'll be another one in the future at some point, that the government stays open at current funding levels, but members of Congress, both House and Senate, have to be in session 7 days a week. We cannot move to anything other than appropriation bills. It kind of locks us in a box and says everyone else is held harmless. You folks do your stuff on it. Have the fight. The fight needs to be there. We're $38 trillion in debt. Last session, I had 57 votes for that. Okay, I need 60 to be able to move in the Senate.
Who held out?
Democrats held out.
Three Democrats.
Yeah, we needed 3 more Democrats on. We had 10 Democrats total that joined us on that. But I need 3 more Democrats to be able to get onto that, to be able to have it, or we literally wouldn't have this shutdown right now. We'd have already prevented it. It's a very simple idea. It's not a partisan idea. It doesn't.
Oh, so it went down to 3 now. Remember, it started, it was 4. Then it went to 7. Then 9. Now it's back down to 3. Y'all full of shit. Y'all don't know what y'all talking. Some people just tired of it, really. Some people just tired of y'all bullshit. And quite frankly, I don't like this dude right here, Langford. I don't like him. He's a piece of shit, to be honest. He's the worst representative of Oklahoma. If you he probably likes goddamn he probably roots for ORU football or soccer or some shit. He don't even go for Oklahoma University. He's a weirdo.
The New York Times reported that the private donor who gave President Trump $130 million to pay U.S. troops during the shutdown, that he is billionaire Timothy Mellon. And the donation appears to violate federal law. But what do you say to Americans who look at that and think it's President Trump, not Democrats, making sure that troops get paid?
Well, I think one of the reasons that President Trump is refusing to negotiate is because he likes the fact that the government is closed, because he thinks he can exercise king-like powers. He can open up the parts of the government that he wants. He can pay the employees who are loyal to him. I mean, this is a leader who is trying to transition our government from a democracy to something much closer to a totalitarian state. And so this is part of what happens in totalitarian states. The leader, the regime only decides what things get funded and what don't, often in coordination with their oligarch friends. So I just don't want to live in a world in which Donald Trump and a handful of billionaires decide which part of government works and which don't, which is why I would rather have him at the negotiating table tomorrow so that we can reopen the government and it can be a democratically elected Congress that decides what things get funded, not a handful of super rich dudes.
The New York Times.
No, y'all not listening, dog. Y'all not listening. You didn't listen to what he said about talking about the bill he proposed. You could block and hold people accountable for the government shutdown. I just want to make sure we listening to the same thing. You know, Republicans have the Senate and the House, right? You telling me you can't get 3 votes? The reason why you can't get 3 votes is because you got a partisan bill. You got to be bipartisan, brother. Brother, if you want to get it, if you want to get it all across the board, you got to work together. Y'all tripping. Y'all don't know where's the art of the deal? Where is the art of the deal when it comes to getting 3 Democrats to vote for you? I don't get it. But I guess y'all gonna blame Schumer. Blame Schumer when you got the House and the Senate. That makes perfect sense, right? Call it the Schumer shutdown when y'all have the Senate, the House, and the goddamn president. Y'all tripping.
It is day 26 of the government shutdown at the time of this recording, and military troops could be missing out on pay if this continues any longer. Let's break it down. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent says by November 15th, troops could be missing their pay if this funding fight in Washington keeps going on. Bessent told Face the Nation that the Trump administration's plan to use $8 billion in leftover Pentagon funds will only cover troops' pay through the beginning of November. After that, the funds will run out. Bessent called the situation, quote, an embarrassment and blamed.
Bro, she said $8 billion? What is $130 million gonna do?
Democrats for holding up a deal. Meanwhile, Democrats are saying Republicans will not negotiate unless the government reopens first. It is day 26 of the government shutdown at the time.
I just want to get to this real quick. I want to get to this because I want to show y'all This is what I want to get to my Republican side of TikTok, because y'all ain't really saying shit, but y'all out here. They heard, but they not heard. Okay. The Republicans.
Trump's right, part 498. That's the focus of tonight's angle. They predicted economic Armageddon.
The nation is in tariff chaos. They are driving us toward a painful Republican recession.
The worst self-inflicted wound.
This is an economic Armageddon.
Total bunk.
The stock market has been telling us what to believe ever since Liberation Day. The stock market said this is not going to be the end of the world. Like so many, like almost unanimously, business reporters that tariffs were the end of the world. And here we are, up, what are we up, 36% since then? Right. All right.
Yep. Hours after they said that, the Dow closed above 47,000 for the first time ever. When President Trump and Secretary Bessent told you not to panic last spring, and so did we, they knew what they were talking about. Tariffs were the most underutilized leverage points in America's arsenal.
Economically, the country is the strongest it's ever been. Thank God for tariffs. If we didn't have tariffs, we'd be a third world nation. But thank God for tariffs. We're the richest nation in the world now because of tariffs, and we're able to economically protect ourselves.
Turns out access to our marketplace is so valuable that foreign companies wanting to sell here have to eat most of their extra costs, with minimal hit to U.S. consumers. Plus, American businesses are humming. The steelmaker Cleveland-Cliffs reported a jump in Q3 orders thanks to Trump's tariffs on steel and aluminum. It's now moving into rare earths as well. Trump's tariffs are bringing in about $30 billion in revenue each month. That is astounding. And the added benefit? No matter what propaganda Xi spews, China's getting creamed. Its factories are slowing production. Because the tariffs, of course, created a glut of goods that China can't sell. Oh, and it turns...
Now, I'm not going to debate that. Maybe this is true. Let's we got to wait it out. Let me look at my stocks real quick. I'm going to tell y'all. Right now. Y'all going to think
its property market is still struggling.
Y'all going to think I'm lying. If I'm lying, I'm flying. If I see the spike that they just had, goddamn.
But as top Trump administration officials are preparing to meet with President Xi, Chinese officials are putting on a cocky show, and they're talking smack about Trump behind closed doors. The Wall Street Journal is reporting that Xi believes that he has cracked the code on Trump, which includes maximum pressure moves like its recent export controls on tech and rare earths. The new strategy embraces Trump's self-image as a master dealmaker, offering concessions on high-visibility issues he personally cares about, such as the fate of the popular video-sharing app TikTok, which sadly, and probably accurately, China knows is just spiritual opium to America. Trump's right, part 409.
Well, I am up from the past year $645 just in the past year. That ain't bad. I guess the tariffs is working. The tariffs might be working. Hell, I don't know. I just invest. I don't even be knowing what I be investing in. I just SPL 500. Let me get 2 of those. I don't even be knowing.
These are insane numbers. States are now starting to release the actual numbers on what the Republicans' policy changes have done to health insurance costs with this legislation that they've passed this year. This is what the Democrats have been making a stink about. You've heard, Democrats are concerned in the shutdown fight about health care costs and health insurance, and you think, Democrats are always concerned about health costs. That's nice. I care about health costs. I'm glad they're standing up for it. No, it's this specific thing. You want to know what the Democrats are making a stink about with the shutdown? You want to know what the Democratic side is of the fight over the shutdown? Look at these numbers from the New York Times tonight. Look at this. This is for the tens of millions of Americans who get their health insurance through the online marketplaces. Look. Based on the newly posted information, meaning the pricing information that's now being posted in multiple states, a family of 4 making $130,000 in Maine, so you combine the family's income, everybody's salaries, you got to do $130,000, that family would face an increase in their annual health insurance premiums next year of $16,100. That's how much their health insurance premiums would go up. But maybe that's, that sounds like it's a fairly well-off family, and you think, oh, well, maybe that doesn't apply to me. I'm not quite in that kind of a bracket. Well, imagine you're in a couple, you're each 60 years old, and you put both of your salaries together combined, you make $85,000 a year. So maybe one of you's making 40 grand a year, maybe one of you's making $45,000 a year. Combined, your couple's income is $85,000 a year. In Maryland, your insurance premium is going to go up by $13,700. In Minnesota, your insurance is going to go up by $15,500. In Nevada, it's going to go up by $18,100. In Kentucky, the increase for you guys as a couple will be that you are expected to pay an additional $23,700.
I ain't gonna lie, that shit sound terrible. That's over $1,000. The last one is almost $2,000 a month. Yo, what? Where am I supposed to? We about to be insurance less. We ain't about to have no insurance for 2026. Shit, we gonna have to stay away from that doctor. We gonna have to Dr. Mom Robitussin. You break a leg, get some of that Robitussin out the cabinet. We gonna be sick in a motherfucker. Hell no. That's a lot. But I don't think that's particularly because of just Obamacare in general. I think that's because the one big beautiful bill. The one big beautiful bill is doing all this. Drop Obamacare, no more problem. Okay, yes. Then you'll use the Affordable Care Act, right, and get you some affordable health care, right? And then whatever, you can call it Trump care. Whatever you may choose to call it. Call it whatever you may choose it to call it. You're going to be shit out of luck regardless. You think Trump care going to be just... All right, let's get some Trump care then. Why haven't Trump did Trump care? I mean, this is his second term as president, not one Trump care. He ain't even proposed it because he don't care about y'all. Mind you, he don't care about y'all. He cared more about that ballroom than he cared about y'all. Y'all, I'm talking to the people who have to use the Affordable Care Health Plan, which is Obamacare. Trump has not spent one day. He's been too busy stopping wars. He ain't got time for that.
Per year. That is the amount of increase we are looking at in people's health insurance premiums. Can your family afford just randomly an additional charge of $24,000 for exactly what you're getting right now for $24,000 less than that? I mean, these are insane numbers.
What's the cause of that?
This is what Republicans, in their policy changes on healthcare, what they have done to health insurance costs. And this specifically is what Democrats have been screaming bloody murder about. This is what Democrats have been drawing the line about in this shutdown, telling Republicans that this is the thing they need to fix.
Y'all about to be ass out. Woo-wee.
Who paid the troops this month? Was it the American people? Or was it some billionaire with a secret agenda? Because that's what the Pentagon just did. They accepted a $130 million private contribution from an anonymous donor. We don't know who is paying that. We don't know if it's a foreign country. We don't know which billionaire it is who wants something in return. Because when someone gives $130 million to the United States government, to the military specifically, it is a slippery slope. When things get tough, they outsource our military. When things get tough, they want to privatize our democracy. They want to privatize our military and take away our...
I'm gonna give y'all, I don't want to give y'all my honest to God truth of what that might be, but I'm gonna tell y'all, if we start privatizing military, what's that leading to is, somebody telling one person without going to Congress telling the military what to do. if you privatize the military, which in turn is the same thing we fight in Venezuela about. The same thing you fight because that's what the paramilitary is in Colombia and all these places, right? But I don't know nothing.
Well, Republicans in the House and the Senate, from the very beginning of the Trump presidency, haven't functioned like they are a separate and co-equal branch of government. What we've seen from Republicans in the House and the Senate is that they behave like a wholly owned subsidiary of Donald Trump and the Trump cartel. That's how they behave. A reckless rubber stamp for Donald Trump's extreme agenda, even when they're hurting their own constituents, because that's what Republicans did in the one big ugly bill. Largest cut to Medicaid in American history, ripped food from the mouths of children, seniors, and hungry veterans.
This is Fox News, people. This is Fox News. Fox News. I want y'all to pay attention to the Republican social media, because Republicans are too lazy. They too busy worried about getting their food stamps that they not posting right now, because they know if they say I'm a Republican and I'm waiting on my food stamps, that they are turning against the Republican Party. So they shut up during this time. But Fox News is not reporting on any of the big topics. In fact, Fox News just gave a rest in peace to June, some actor, I don't know who she is. She died. Instead of talking about the $130 million given to the government by a private donor, it's crazy that you don't talk about the biggest news story in the world. It's only the biggest. It's only the biggest. This is what they put out. Mystery Trump ally donates $130 million to help cover troops' paychecks. Where's the video? Where's your rebut? Where's the 5 at? No, they on break. It's the weekend. So tomorrow, if the 5 is not talking about this $130 million, I'm going to call cap on them. And that guy, that little devil buff that's always cutting that young lady off, that beautiful milk of magnesia, he always cutting her off. He gonna come in here and say some bullshit tomorrow. I know he is. Y'all know it.
We've raised over $350 million. It's a beautiful room, a big room. I don't have any plan to call it after myself. That was fake news. Probably going to call it the Presidential Ballroom or something like that. We haven't really thought about a name yet.
Cap! We're just going to call it the Presidential Ballroom. Cap! He said, remember this, in about 2 months, or maybe a year from now, maybe 3 years from now, as soon as that first pillar go up, he gonna be like, I think we should name this the Trump Presidential Ballroom. Get the fuck out of here, Cap.
We've raised over $350 million. Well, you know, it's a crooked ad. I heard he's airing it. Canada, that's why I pulled everything. With Canada, they did a crooked ad. They knew it was Ronald Reagan loved tariffs. What they did is really dishonest. And I heard they were pulling the ad. I didn't know they were putting it on a little bit more. They could have pulled it tonight. Could have pulled it Monday. Well, that's dirty playing. But I can play dirtier than they can, you know? Well,
so Donald Trump decided to end trade negotiations with Canada over an ad made by Ontario's government that used selective audio from the former President Ronald Reagan. Let's look at that. Let's see if we can find that. I'm going to Google that shit so we can find it. Dude. interested. Let's see if we can find a video.
Ad featuring the former president's anti-tariff speech is misleading. Well, rather than just watch the unedited video on their YouTube channel like they suggested, I copied the whole transcript and isolated the clips used in the ad so that together we can read what those notoriously manipulative Canadians cut out to make the ad so disingenuous. Okay, so for those of us who lived through the Great Depression, the memory of the suffering it caused is...
He ain't finna talk about it. Let's see if we can listen to it on her.
And I don't pay. My fellow Americans, Prime Minister Nakasone of Japan will be visiting me here at the White House next week. It's an important visit because while I expect to take up our relations with our good friend Japan, which overall remain excellent, recent disagreements between our two countries on the issue of trade will also be high on our agenda. As perhaps you've heard, last week I placed new duties on some Japanese products in response to Japan's inability to enforce their trade agreement with us on electronic devices called semiconductors. Now, imposing such tariffs or trade barriers and restrictions of any kind are steps that I am loath to take, and in a moment I'll mention the sound economic reasons for this, that over the long run such trade barriers hurt every American worker and consumer. But the Japanese semiconductors were a special case. We had clear evidence that Japanese companies were engaging.
All right, that ain't it. They tripping. This is the ad.
When someone says, let's impose tariffs on foreign imports, it looks like they're doing the patriotic thing by protecting American products and jobs. And sometimes for a short while it works, but only for a short time. But over the long run, such trade barriers hurt every American worker and consumer. High tariffs inevitably lead to retaliation by foreign countries and the triggering of fierce trade wars. Then the worst happens. Markets shrink and collapse, businesses and industries shut down, and millions of people lose their jobs. Throughout the world, there's a growing realization that the way to prosperity for all nations is rejecting protectionist legislation and promoting fair and free competition. America's jobs and growth are at stake.
Okay, that ain't that bad. But what that ad did was just like I said that one big beautiful bill did. It cut out the fat, okay? It cut out all the jargon and the bull crap that we don't even need to listen to. Yeah, whatever. Y'all ain't gonna listen. I ain't gonna listen either. But y'all can go find that. I just typed in, what I type in? Ontario ad tariffs. And you can find that, and then you can find the full version on there too. So
I would. I'd be willing to. I would have now too. You know, I left. I said, come on over, just put the government back. All they have to do is say yes, and then it's over. Then we start. And then we go into a negotiation. Look, Obamacare has been terrible. We can make it better. I'm all for that. But they're not. And they want to allow many illegal people that came into our country illegally from prisons, from mental institutions, from all over the world. They want them to get paid, and that's going to hurt the citizens of our country, and I just can't do it. I would. I'd be.
Mind you, Obama, I think, was it in Obama's second term that Obamacare was pushed through and made happen and everything, you know, because it was like when Obamacare first launched, it was like a shit show. But it took some time to get it together and go right? It took his second term, right? What's taking Donald Trump so long to come up with Trump Care? Because Trump don't care. But y'all gonna keep believing, oh, we can do better than, you can do better. Do better for the people. Do better for the people. Joker, I see it. I'm like, damn, they can't spell regular words, but they be They be cussing the shit out of them, cussing up a storm. No, if you can fix Obamacare, fix it. Fix Obamacare. You said you could do better. Do better. Quit. But you sure can make a executive order for a ballroom. That don't take much experience to do. Okay, mind you, you don't even have to use people that think. You get a bunch of. Well, I don't know. Ain't no Mexicans working on the ballroom. They scared to come to work. But if you can make Obamacare better, if you can make it better, make it better. What's taking you so long? This is your second presidency. What are you doing? You want a third term? Is he gonna make Obama? And in his third term, he's still gonna be complaining about Obamacare. That's all I'm saying.
The party's going to go its own way, but I've been going my way. I'm going to fight for wins in Pennsylvania, and there's issues that I will agree and align with on the Republican side, specifically like Israel, and I celebrated those great peace deal. And I also really very strong that we have to secure our border, and I was the co-sponsor of the Lakin bill as well. And right now, I'm in a minority that I think it's wrong to shut our government down in this situation right now. And now, so for me, and there's things that I strongly believe in too on the Democratic side, but I'm always going to vote country over party. I'm always going to vote for paying for the military over my party and those things, because I think that's what's appropriate right now. The direction where my party's going, I mean, won't see, but I can control my vote and my voice, and that's exactly where I am. And I'm going to call balls and strikes. And it's an easy choice to pick my country over the party, especially in circumstances like this. The party's going to go its own way, but I've been.
Who is John Fetterman? He's a member of the Democratic Party. Okay. He calling it out. He's one of the people who are voting for the one big beautiful bill because he's like, man, I gotta call it out. You know what? He probably like me. Like, hey, man. You know, at the end of the day, it's some bull crap. But I know we gotta do it. And he like, let's just vote. I get it. Cause he's obviously not ready to fight with the rest of the Democrats, but maybe he's fought on other issues and people have led him astray. And I'm gonna just say this: if I was a Democrat in whatever state he's from, Washington, he's from Pennsylvania, oh, he ain't coming back. He ain't coming back. Pennsylvania is a blue state. He ain't coming back. He ain't coming back at all.
We've done a lot together especially in the last year. What we've done is incredible. Peace to the Middle East. And they were a very big factor in this. So
Peace in the Middle East.
I was thinking, we're landing here, we're going to fuel up, and it's such an honor to have you on the plane. You don't do this often. First time. I don't think he's ever done this, actually. But we've done a lot.
They in the plane, the gift from Qatar, they're in the gift. It's an expensive gift, big, beautiful gift.
I'm starting because you're in my country, so I want to welcome you, Mr. President. And as soon as I found out that he's coming to refuel, I said, I'm not going to allow him to take off unless I come and say hello to him. So thank you very much, Mr. President, and it's always great seeing you. I'm starting because you're.
I think it'll hold, yeah. Oh, it's good. Well, if it doesn't hold, if it does hold, that will be Hamas. Hamas will be not hard to take care of. It will be very quickly. But I hope it holds for Hamas too, because they gave us their word on something. They said they took out gang members. Well, I hope that's right. But they gave us their word on something, so I think it's going to. And if it doesn't, then they'll have a very, very big problem.
They got gang members over there in Gaza. I don't know. Sounds kind of scripted, but whatever. The ceasefire, he says the Hamas will have a very big problem if they disobey the ceasefire at this point. But guess what? They're not. Y'all, mind you, we still talking to Fox News. I told y'all, this is the Republican side of TikTok because they are on hush. They won't post anything that's regarding the $130 million. They'll post about everything else except for the $130 million. Why? Because they think it's illegal. They just don't want to speak out on it, because if they speak out on some bull crap that is illegal, then their credibility will go out the window. So they just avoid it at all costs. I would do that too. You know, if I was guilty of something, I'll just avoid it at all costs. You'll be like, PJ, are you a cheater? I'll be like, you know what? It's a nice day outside. I think I'm going to go walk my dog real quick. That's Fox News.
What will Russia have to do for you to reschedule your meeting?
I'm going to have to know that we're going to make a deal. I'm not going to be wasting my time. I've always had a great relationship with Vladimir Putin, but this has been very disappointing. I thought this would have gone long before peace in the Middle East. I mean, we have Azerbaijan and Armenia. That was very tough. In fact, Putin told me on the phone, he said, boy, that was amazing, because everybody tried to get that done and they couldn't. I got it done. You and others, if you look at India and Pakistan, I could say almost any one of the deals that I've already done, I thought would have been more difficult than Russia and Ukraine, but it didn't work out that way. There's a lot of hatred between the two. Between Zelensky and Putin, there's tremendous hatred.
What will Russia have to do?
Okay, now Fox News. They speak on Timothy Mellon, revealed as Trump ally who donated $130 million to pay troops. Not one Fox host had anything to say about this over the weekend. That's insane. Or maybe Fox ain't had enough time to update their TikTok. Give them time to update their TikTok, and I guarantee you they'll say something about this. Because they've said something about everything. Like, everything that's not important, they've said something about it. But the important stuff, I don't know. They might make a post about it. They'll, like, notify their people, but be like, we really don't want to talk about this. But this. How important is this? This is the new Qatar Air Force One. The Qatar gift. But how important is this? This video right here of Air Force One pulling up. I mean, it's a beauty, right? It's a beauty. I've seen it in real life, like flying above, because I live right next to the Air Force Base. But it's a beauty, right? It definitely is. Look at that thing. Ooh, you know how much I get if I pull up in that thing right there? Dog, I'll be. You know? They not only have one video, they have two videos. Two videos of Donald Trump pulling up to the Philippines after he refueled in the Philippines. I mean, in Qatar. Two videos. If that was Joe Biden would have took a crap. Sleepy ass. Video number 3. Now we have Trump dancing. 3 videos. 3 videos. 3 videos. Not one video about the $130 million. But y'all be like, oh, you're a bias too, because y'all ain't saying nothing. I'm not biased. Y'all just don't do nothing. Y'all don't post nothing. Nobody's going to talk about it. I wouldn't talk about it either. If Democrats had so much leverage in the House, the Senate, and and the White House, I wouldn't say shit either. I'd be quiet as a church mouse. I'd be quiet. I wouldn't say nothing. But hey, Republicans be like, hey.
This is one of 8 wars that my administration has ended in just 8 months. We're averaging one a month. There is only one left. Although I heard that Pakistan and Afghanistan have started up, but I'll get that solved very quickly. I know them both, and the Pakistan, the Field Marshal and the Prime Minister are great people, and I have no doubt we're going to get that done quickly. That one started up a few days ago. And I just feel it's something I can do. I do it nicely. I don't need to do it, I guess, but if I can take time and save millions of lives, that's really a great thing. I can't think of anything better to do. But the 8 wars that my
Nothing better else
administration
to
has
do.
ended in just 8 months, there's never been anything like that. Never. There never will be either. This is one of 8 wars that my administration has ended in just 8 months. We're averaging one a month. There is only one left. Although I heard that Pakistan and Afghanistan have started up, but I'll get that.
Okay. Donald Trump has claimed that he has ended or settled 6, 7, or even up to 10 wars since returning to office. However, independent fact-checking finds that he has not convincingly ended 6 or more full-scale wars. Some of the conflicts he cites were not wars, border skirmishes, or remain unresolved. The U.S. role in some of these claimed settlements is contested or sparse. So let's go back.
This is one of 8 wars that my administration has ended in just 8 months. We're averaging one a month. There is only one left.
He has not convincingly ended 6 or more full-scale wars. Full-scale wars, like actual wars. So he's just calling border conflicts wars. Like, Ukraine is a war, dog. But, I don't know.
This is reflecting the gratitude of the Cambodian peoples. I have nominated President Donald J. Trump for the Nobel Peace Prize. And he, like I say, peace saved life. And this is the wish of our Cambodian people as appreciations for the president. So thank you very much, Mr. President. Reflecting the gratitude.
I mean, that will definitely be excellent. I'm all for it. You know, the Nobel Peace Prize, he's our modern day Martin Luther King, dog. 8 wars, that's astounding. That is astounding. I'm talking about 8 delivering peace all over Malaysia, Cambodia, Thailand. Globally, Donald Trump is ending wars. I don't think y'all understand the significance of that. Like, my gosh. It's just like, it's so amazing. I don't even know. The Nobel Peace Prize, like the lady from Argentina just got the Nobel Peace Prize. Or no. That was Venezuela. This is them signing the peace deal. Y'all can't see this, but there's 3 people up here that have been in the military. And one that hasn't. But that's neither here nor there.
Because the Democratic Party has changed so much, people say it's no longer your father's Democratic Party, you know, it's becoming more extreme. Do you even consider yourself a Democrat anymore?
I am a Democrat. I don't consider them Democrats. Zoran Mandami is a socialist. He happens to be on the Democratic line. I am a Democrat on the independent line.
Because the Democratic Party has changed so much, people say it's...
Listen, New York is in shambles. New York don't even know if they want to be Republican or Democrat. They got all the Republican values. Everything that would run a Republican city in New York, they have it all. But they're Democrats. And then they put no money into infrastructure. The rent crisis is shit right now. Okay? Like New York is going, I don't know if they going up or down. I don't even think New Yorkers know where it's going. They are all like, man, what is going on with our city? It's like once New York was this big, I have to be there type city. But once the internet came along, everybody found out how shitty New York is. And it has nothing to do with the Democratic policies. It's just a shitty city. But shout out to New York. I mean, yeah. Y'all got so many problems. And Trump talking about Portland. Portland is on fire. New York City has a rat problem the size of freaking miniature chihuahuas. Not miniature chihuahua. Miniature goddamn any miniature what's a big ass dog? What was Cujo? What's that big ass dog? A bull mastiff. A miniature bull mastiff. They got rats the size of miniature bull mastiffs. Get the fuck out of here, big ass. Come on, man. New York City is horrible. But Como talking about, oh, it's not my democratic city that my daddy was raised in. Bro, you was nepotism then. But anyway, enough on New York. They having it hard enough already. That's why I'm glad to live in a red state, because we ain't got to deal with none of that shit. Oh, let me show y'all something from Oklahoma. This is Oklahoma. I'm gonna show y'all how crazy Oklahoma is. I'm gonna show y'all how crazy Oklahoma is. Y'all think y'all something. Ooh wee. Let's see here.
Your dog can run, but they can't hide from fleas.
It's important that you call before you need it so that it can be done when you need it.
Let's see here. I don't need that big ass thing.
Now to a story about a man exercising his right to free speech and his neighbors exercising theirs. We were there this afternoon, as you see, as tempers flared in a metro neighborhood. It's all over a sign referencing ICE, Immigration and Custom Enforcement, and pointing to a Hispanic family's home. News 4's Tanner De Leon was there as both sides came face to face.
I asked y'all to burn this down twice.
Shouts of anger and frustration aimed at the person who put up this sign in his yard near Spencer Elementary School.
This is not okay, and I'm a mother here. My children go to this school, and I will not tolerate this.
She is sticking up for the family who lives in the home the sign points to. They tell News 4 they've had issues with the man since moving in a couple years ago.
They don't like us. They complain about everything.
Y'all see the sign.
She is sticking up for the family who lives in the home the sign points to. They tell News 4 they've had issues with the man since moving in a couple years ago.
They don't like us. They complain about everything. My kids.
The man since moving.
It says, ICE needed here. Deport them all. I support ICE. This is crazy. Is this not crazy? Imagine this being your neighbor.
A couple years ago.
They don't like us. They complain about everything. My kids played in the yard over there in the grass, and they come to the fence and they start telling them, hey, you need to go to your house. Hey, you need to stop playing.
Families picking up their kids from Spencer Elementary say this does not surprise them.
I was a kid here in the school over 20.
Bruh, mind you, this is the country. This is not even in the city, bro. This is like the countryside of the city. Like this is This is still Oklahoma County, like it's the Oklahoma City metropolitan area, but it's the countryside. It's not even like in the city. It's, I don't know, man.
Years ago, and it was like the same kind of way. He lives next to a school, but like even like balls over the fence, like common things. Still an issue, I guess.
At one point, police showed up. That's when the homeowner came outside. Or don't.
Mind you, the police is out there every day. The police didn't like show up because he was like patrolling the area. Now the police is out there at that school every day because it be shit.
He says it is one of the few times he has had an opportunity to try and speak with the man.
They don't like Hispanic people or they don't like nobody. I don't know what this problem is. We never mess with him at all.
We out here.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
No, you.
Officers say because neither side is breaking any law, they can't do anything. We reached out to OKCPS as well, with it being so close to the elementary school. They say there is nothing they can do about it because the sign is not on their property, adding, quote, "The district is committed to all students, and all students will be educated equally." Families hoping for a change.
I wish we would quit spreading the hate. I know this community has grown, and everybody that's coming to this community has made an impact and makes a difference for what they do here.
In Spencer, Tanner DeLeon, Oklahoma's News 4.
And again, it's important to point out, as Spencer said, police say the man isn't doing anything illegal, and right now, this is just a case of both sides expressing their right to free speech.
Expungements take time.
Y'all full of shit. But everyday people, man. Maybe we'll get something. Maybe the Democrats will finally. Not Democrats. Maybe the Republicans will finally speak out and tell their side on how they feel about the $130 million payment to the U.S. military. Maybe one day. Not today, though. Not today. So come back tomorrow. We're gonna go back into Republican TikTok, and we're gonna expose the lies that them being afraid to speak out. We could go find content creators, but they don't have nothing to say. You know why the content creators don't have nothing to say? Because everything that is put out from the White House, everything that's put out is to make them feel great. So the only thing that they have to talk about is the shutdown. Because the $130 million payment ain't going to make nobody feel great. If you deep dive into it legally, oh, it's a bad situation, dog. It's a slippery slope. When you got private people funding the military, okay, just imagine you're a rich person and you want to get private security. What do you think the private security is going to protect? It's going to protect you. What do you think the military is going to do when you start paying them to do? They're going to protect you. When the military, when ICE budget goes from just under 10 billion to 100 billion, it's not for you. It's not for illegal immigrants. It's no longer for illegal immigrants. It's for our king, hail Donald Trump. But y'all didn't hear that from me. Everyday people, I will see y'all later. Thank you, mods in the chat. I appreciate y'all. Y'all always keep these people in check because they don't know how to misspell cuss words. Even though they see it pinned at the top, they just continue to do dumb shit. But whatever. I ain't gonna blame y'all. It's a reason the military isn't privatized. Facts. That's a fact. He trying to beat his last record of having the government shut down. I had the longest shutdown ever. That's crazy. Okay. Hey, but shout out to Trump, man. He does some things. He does do things. He does things. You know what I'm saying? He does things. You gotta be like, damn, I couldn't believe he did that. It's like your stupid cousin graduating high school. You be like, damn, I didn't know that. I didn't know he was gonna graduate. That fool never went to class, and they let him walk across stage. He never went to class. How did he walk across stage? You know. I'm finna go eat, then go to bed. I'll see y'all tomorrow, okay? God bless all y'all, man. Make sure y'all have a wonderful night. At the end of the night, we all Americans. Okay? We gonna keep it lit. We gonna keep it lit. Peace.